Good morning, everyone. As you all know, we are discussing about the accountancy subject. We are dealing with the second chapter here, theory base of accounting. So, in the previous sessions, as we have discussed about the basic accounting concepts, in the previous class, we have seen that we were having a business entity concept, then money measurement, then going concern, and accounting period. See, basically, what that points and what the wordings exactly means here. We have seen that business entity. We saw that two entities are there, two peoples are there. That is what if you are investor in that business, it the investor, the owner is different than the entity. As we have seen the two aspects, what we will be looking after that. Then further again, money measurement. Money measurement means whatever the transactions are being made by the business should have the value, the amount or the money, so that can be measured here. So nextly we will having going concern. Now going concern means what here specifically we will be having a long term business, means it is will not be for a 1 month, 6 months or a year. It is a long term business, it will consist of long time period that we saw there. Then accounting period. Accounting period means what? Most probably our yearly, in a 1 year of time, what all accounts you have maintained, you have earned a profit or no in a period of time that we saw. Then next I will be proceeding with the cost. After the this one accounting period concept, I will start the cost concept here, so that you can get a clear idea about it. Cost concept one by one. If I have discussed any of the point of this cost concept also, we'll be having bit extra explanation now. See, the cost concept requires that all assets are recorded in the books of account at their purchase price, which includes cost to acquire, transportation, installation, and making the asset ready to use. See, this why I am repeating this concept. I'll tell you. In the last session, we had a small discussion about it, but now I would like to tell you all about this more, about this concept. I will give you all the more knowledge. See, whenever you purchase, normally example we will take here. Example, purchase of machinery. Machinery you have purchased, okay. So this cost you, let us consider rupees 5 lakh. Cost of machinery is rupees 5 lakh. Keep in mind this price is 5 lakh. Now this machinery you have to bring from the purchasing place to your place, yes or no? That time what you require? Transportation. See, when you are purchasing something, you need to bring that to your place. You all agree for this? Now for transportation, it is a big machinery, means you may require truck, tempo and all what can carry your machinery till that. Yes. So obviously I will take example of rupees 10,000 for the transportation. Rupees 10,000 will be for transportation. Now as I was giving you all the explanation examples of the machineries, like previously we were having lathe machines, then CNC came, then VMC came. For that installation is required, means bringing and skipping is not a work. You can't start a work. Even some things are there, programming need to do for that new machineries, yes or no? Even that you have to agree for that. Now next will be the installation part. Installation, here what you are doing, installment, not installment, here installation we can call here. Okay, installation, not installment. Installment is different, so that we are paying the amount in a short, one specific period of time in short amounts, small amounts. What is the payment we can call here? So installment, let us consider rupees 25. Yes. Now till here we got over. Now when you are brought a machinery here, then you have transported the machinery from the purchase place to your place, then installation you have done. You need to have a trial. Yes. How the machinery works, you will be having a trial. trial use of this machinery. When you are making a trial, you will require certain amount. Let us consider 15,000 you have made the expenses for trial use. Now how the things will go? One person is there, one person, he is going to work on this machinery. He requires some training, yes, training or how the machinery works, knowledge. Is a new person. So this company, for example, this company Reliance Industry, Reliance Industries, you have purchased this machinery. Then when you are purchasing, you took that machinery via transportation to your place, then installation you have done, setup, then trial. Now this, from this company, one of the person will be coming for you all for technical teaching or to show how the use of the machinery it is. Now after this person will be working so and so. For that, when he will be teaching this person, the technical person for that company, when he will be giving him the demo, that time some expenses will be there. That is what trial use. For trial, we will be using some goods that cost this much. Now the question is what? In your books of account, which amount you are going to write? You are going to write this amount or this amount. Now which amount you are going to mention? On the purchase of machinery what we are talking, you will be mentioning this amount or this amount. I want reply from you all. Which amount you will be mentioning in the books of account? Yes? May I get your answer? Which amount you will be showing in the books of account specifically? You will be mentioning this purchase of account, this one or this one? This much is the cost what we have required while taking down. The answer will be, you will be mentioning this one. Make it clear that you should understand the concept and try to answer. Whenever I raise the question, it should be a quick answer. See, this is all about the total amount which has been made the expenses for bringing out this, even this will be installed out there. So that's why I told you all this concept will be very much interested. The cost concept, why I told it is interested one for this purpose. I will repeat one more time what exactly we saw here. See, the cost concept requires that all aspects are recorded in the books of account at the purchase price. Purchase price is what? 5 lakh, which includes cost of acquisition. You have acquired it, means you, this is what acquisition. You have purchased it means you have acquired it. Then transportation, then installation, then trial use. So whole of this amount you are going to mention in the books of account. So this is what the concept it was. So even we can say, have an example, one more example, so that you have purchase of building, that is 2.5 crore. 2.5 crore is the purchasing of building. So same, whatever you have purchased, you will be maintaining this in the books of account. Okay, when you are maintaining in the books of account, this price will be mentioned. Even this price what we call here, in future it may increase the value or decrease. What it is, in future what you have mentioned this amount in the books of account, it will in future it may increase here or decrease. In that, this concept or this price what we have mentioned, we will be calling it as a historical cost. Historical cost. Which cost we call this? Which you have maintained. In future means soon after 5 years or 10 years, consider that. That time the value of this building will not be the same. So even why I am taking you all, whatever the concepts which are being mentioned in the books of account will be on the historical cost. Historical cost means what? Once you have purchased the machinery, which how much cost you have got? This. In future, when we will be seeing this, this cost what is been applied, that will be the historical cost. That's it. So this was the concept about the cost. Okay, so I will be erasing this. The next concept what we are having is dual aspects. Now, even this part is very interesting. Dual aspects means what? See, whatever, whichever this you are doing, transaction will be based on two aspects. What this two aspect means? It is very interesting. When you will come to example, you will understand it. But I will like to highlight the theoretical part first. Then I will go for the this one example. See, dual aspect is a foundation or basic principle of accounting. Dual aspects means it is a foundation. It is bottom line foundation. It is basic or a principle accounting. It provides very basic basis of recording business transaction into books of account. This concept states that every transaction has a dual or twofold effect and should therefore be recorded in two places. Every concept is recorded in two places. Now, how we are recording in a two place? Whatever the transaction is there, we will be recording on two aspects. Means two times we are making this entry. In which entry we are going to make? What exactly the dual aspect means? एक ही ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हैं या फिर हम लोग दो जगह पर क्यों एंट्री ले रहे हैं? कैसे हो सकता है वो ट्रांजैक्शन? ड्यूअल एस्पेक्ट्स का मतलब क्या होता है? दिस ड्यूअल एस्पेक्ट, how we are making double entry. Even double entry system what we are going to discuss further, we will come to know. But now dual aspect means whichever the transaction you have made, that will be on two bases. Means both sides, two sides you are going to mention it. I will give you all the example here. See, even it has the example, best example of machinery itself. If a person purchase machinery of rupees 50 lakh, consider big amount, 50 lakh. Okay, we are one of the person is purchasing, business entity is purchasing a machinery, person or a firm mentioned here. It will be very easy for you all to understand. A firm is purchasing a machinery. Now this machinery which is being purchased on credit basis. Credit means you can't pay whole of the amount here. 50 lakh you can't pay, so you are purchasing it on a credit basis. Okay, so here it is 110. Let's consider you have purchased this from Reliance Industries. You have purchased it from the Reliance Industries. This will incur as a asset. Now, as I told you all, balance sheet. How will be the balance sheet? In this way. This is balance sheet. This is liability. This is assets. See, the machinery is a asset. Do you all agree? You may know this, but I am repeating here, it is machinery is an asset and it is on the credit. The amount, this we call here as a fixed assets. On 50 lakh rupees you have purchased, but it is on the credit. Credit means what? Whatever you have taken, it is not a cash payment here. We will be giving the amount in future. Okay, that is what. Then further, this, see, machinery is one hand concept and another is a liability. Here in the liability, liability we maintain creditors. See, in the previous sessions we have discussed the creditors word. Okay, what it means on the credit base, what we have purchased here. Now purchased means what we have purchased this one. So purchasing of machinery has a recorded on the two places. Got the idea how two places purchase of machinery becomes a dual aspect. Here you are maintaining this in the asset side also and maintaining this in the liability side also. Why? Because this is on the credit basis. You on the credit basis you have purchased the machinery. So that is one thing. Then this type of dual effect takes place in case of all business transactions and is also known as duality principle. Duality principle. Sorry, this not this principle, this principle, duality principle. Okay, so this is what the concept we call this concept, where we are making dual entries. One entry will be based in the asset side and another will be in the credit side. Why we are making in the asset side means machinery is a fixed asset. What we call here fixed asset. Then this, why we are making this in the liability, because we have taken this, purchase this on the credit basis. Okay, in future we are going to make the payments, so it is creditor here. So this concept also we call as a dual principle, which we are making or keeping here. Okay, this is all about the concept. Then we will move for the next concept. Then next is what? Revenue recognition concept. See, even this concept is very means interesting. How how you are going to recognize the revenue? See, revenue means what? Now you have got an idea about it. Revenue is nothing but the soon after the sell, what the amount you are receiving, that is what after the sell of goods. What amount you get is revenue. This is what revenue concept. Now, so what we can call here, there what we make here, revenue recognition. See, recognizing revenue means revenue we came to know what it is after the sale of goods, what the amount we receive is revenue. But revenue recognition concept means what we are going to see now. See, the concept of revenue recognition requires that the revenue for a business transaction should be included in the accounting records only when it is realized. Here arises two questions in the mind. See, how we realize this? Yes, first thing, we can maintain this in the books of account revenue on selling this. How we recognize? It has two things. The two questions will arise. One question and two questions arises here. What are these two questions in the mind? See, after the selling, we say that whatever the amount we get is revenue. But revenue means exactly what it is. That revenue contains the expenses also. Keep in mind, whatever you have made, the expenses to produce these goods, even in this revenue, the expenses are incurred, right? So the question arises, what exactly, the first question and second question, two questions in the mind we get. What is these two questions? And what after realized? Why we are using the word when it is realized? We mention or write the revenue after selling the goods and services. Okay, but when we realized it, I will tell you. See, the first question, first is termed as revenue, and the other see, two words what it is. First we are taking the revenue, then other one is revenue recognized, realized. It is revenue realized. It is realized. How it? See, let us take the first point, first one first. See, Revenue is the gross inflow of cash. It is gross inflow. See word, gross inflow. Why we make this gross inflow? Why we are taking the gross inflow here? This is what, not net profit. This will be after the deduction of these expenses. See, I will mention our expenses. We get this net inflow. Net inflow is nothing but the profits, what we call here. But here, whatever we get revenue, for that revenue we say inflow, gross inflow. It is not net, it is gross inflow. In that we have expenses also. After that deduction, we can call it a net inflow. That is what one of the concept here. See, revenue is the gross inflow of cash arising from sale of goods and services by an enterprise. This is what gross inflow after sale of goods or services. Goods or services. After selling goods and services, we get is what? Revenue. This is what? Gross inflow. The first question. That is what I told you. This revenue is one part and this revenue realized is another part, second part. Means two aspects are there here. One is revenue and another is revenue realized. How we realize the revenue, I will tell you. Then this is what one part. Then second one, revenue is assumed to be realized when a legal right to receive its arises. That is the point of time when goods have been sold or services have been rendered. Thus, credit sale is treated as revenue. Even see, if it is cash one, you can say that revenue realized. How we can realize? If it is these goods are been sold on the credit. अगर आप उधारी दे रहे हो तो ये रियलाइज कर सकते हो ये हमारा रेवेन्यू है. कैश हो रहा है तो ये समझ लो ये रेवेन्यू है. ये ग्रॉस इनफ्लो तो रहेगा ही, हमारा रेवेन्यू है. सेल के बाद कैश सेल्स हो रहा है तो ठीक है, अच्छा है, हम बोल सकते हैं कि ये रेवेन्यू पार्ट है. लेकिन अगर वो क्रेडिट पे हो रहा है तो कैसे? सो मैंने बोला कि ये दो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. रेवेन्यू मतलब क्या है? आफ्टर सेल ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज व्हाट वी गेट इज अ रेवेन्यू. एक पार्ट हो गया ये. अभी दूसरा रियलाइज मतलब क्या? अभी ये अगर क्रेडिट पे है तो उसे रेवेन्यू समझोगे कि नहीं? The question mark arises. See, I will tell you. That is point of time when goods have been sold and services are been rendered. Thus, credit sale is treated as revenue on the day sale made and not when the amount is received by the buyer. See, ये अगर हम लोग रियलाइजेशन मतलब क्या है? हम लोग अगर कैश सेल कर रहे हैं या फिर क्रेडिट सेल कर रहे हैं, आपको रियलाइज होना है, मतलब आपको समझ में आना चाहिए कि ये जो है रेवेन्यू है. जिस दिन आप सेल करते हो उस दिन ही इसे मेंशन करना है. वो अमाउंट एक महीने के बाद आ गया तो भी जो बायर है एक महीने के बाद भी अगर आपको पैसे दे रहा है, ये जो सेल किया है आपने, ठीक है, इसे रेवेन्यू ही कंसीडर करोगे. ये क्रेडिट बेस पे रहेगा और ये कैश पे. सो ये रियलाइजेशन कब होगा? जब आप परचेस मतलब सेल कर रहे हो उसी समय रियलाइज करना चाहिए कि आपने जो क्रेडिट पे भी बेचा है आपके गुड्स, वो आपका रेवेन्यू है. इसे बोलते हैं रियलाइजेशन. नहीं तो क्या होता है, जब आपके हाथ में पैसे आते हैं तभी आप कहोगे कि हम लोगों ने सेल किया है. अगर आपने क्रेडिट पे सेल किया है तो वो सेल नहीं है क्या? क्यों ये दो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं? इस वजह से ये दो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. बस इतना ही, इसमें ज्यादा डीप जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. इतना कॉन्सेप्ट अगर आपको समझ में आ गया तो सही है. अगर कुछ डाउट भी हो तो पूछ सकते हो बाद में, ठीक है, इस कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में. क्योंकि ये कैसा है, अगर हम लोग कैश पेमेंट और आपके हाथ में कैश जल्दी मिल जाए, हाँ सेल हो गया कहोगे. लेकिन अगर वही क्रेडिट के ऊपर सेल किया हो आपने तो तभी आप कह नहीं सकती कि हमारा प्रॉफिट हुआ है या फिर हम लोगों ने रेवेन्यू इतना मतलब इनफ्लो कैश इनफ्लो इतना हुआ है। जब तक आपके हाथ में पैसा नहीं आता तब तक आप उसे रियलाइज नहीं कर सकते हमारी गुड्स सोल्ड हुए हैं। ठीक है, उसके वजह से ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट हम लोगों ने लिया है। ओके, सो नेक्स्ट वन, सी वी आर हैविंग अ मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट। अब ये मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट का मतलब क्या होता है? मैचिंग मीन्स, okay, we'll see. I'll tell you all what it is matching concept. See, the process of ascertaining the amount of profit earned, the process of ascertaining the amount of profit earned or loss incurred during a period involves deduction of related expenses for the revenue earned during the period. अभी ये थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है, थोड़ा अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए कैसे आप अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हो देखिए, एक बार ध्यान से सुनिए। द प्रोसेस ऑफ असरटेनिंग द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रॉफिट अर्न, असरटेन कर रहे हैं हम लोगों को इतना प्रॉफिट हुआ है, जैसे कि कंसीडर कर लो आपका प्रॉफिट 50,000 हुआ है, ठीक है, ये हो गया आपका, रियलाइज हो गया कि 50,000 आपका प्रॉफिट हुआ है, और द लॉस इंकर्ड या फिर लॉस ड्यूरिंग अ पीरियड इन्वॉल्व डिडक्शंस ऑफ रिलेटेड एक्सपेंसेस। अगर इसमें से आपके एक्सपेंसेस डिडक्ट करते हो ना, जैसे मैंने बोला रेवेन्यू से आप एक्सपेंसेस डिडक्ट करने के बाद प्रॉफिट होता है, बोला था ना। सो दिस इज व्हाट द पॉइंट। देन फर्दर आई विल टेल यू द मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट emphasizes exactly on this aspect. It states that expenses incurred in accounting period should be matched with revenue during that period. मतलब जो एक्सपेंसेस इंकर किए हुए हैं, ये जो एक्सपेंसेस इंकर किए हैं ये रेवेन्यू से मैच होने चाहिए। मतलब जिस साल में अगर हम लोगों ने ईयर 2019 लिया है एंड 2020 ले रहे हैं, अगर इस साल में हम लोगों ने कुछ 30,000 एक्सपेंसेस किया है तो ये डिडक्शन इसी साल में करना चाहिए, इस साल में नहीं। कुछ भी हो, ये मैच, ये अमाउंट जो है एक्सपेंसेस का इस साल का है तो इसी साल में मैच करना पड़ेगा और देखना पड़ेगा कि हम लोगों ने नेट प्रॉफिट कितना अर्न किया है। ये एक्सपेंसेस नेक्स्ट ईयर में लेके नहीं जा सकते, ठीक है। जिस साल में जो रेवेन्यू अर्न किया है उसी में से आपको जो एक्सपेंसेस इनकर्ड किए हुए रहते हैं वहीं पर आपको क्या करना चाहिए? डिडक्शन करना चाहिए। सी, even further we are having information. It states that expenses incurred in the accounting period should be matched with revenue during that period. It follows from this that the revenue and expenses incurred to earn revenue must belong to the same accounting period. मतलब जो आप लोगों को ये प्रॉफिट अर्न करने के लिए अपने इस साल में 2019 में इतना प्रॉफिट अर्न करने के लिए देखा है, ये जो रेवेन्यू और ये जो एक्सपेंसेस पार्ट है उसी साल में मैच होने चाहिए। जैसे कि अभी ये 50,000 है, आपके एक्सपेंसेस 30,000, ये इसी साल में होना चाहिए मैच। नहीं तो आप लोगों ने जैसे कि समझा मुझे रेवेन्यू 50,000 हो गया है, अभी एक्सपेंसेस है अगले साल में हम लोग लेंगे, ये नहीं हो सकता। जो कॉन्सेप्ट जहां पर है वहीं पर मैच करना चाहिए। ये रेवेन्यू में से ही डिडक्ट हो सकता है, इस रेवेन्यू में से ही, अगले साल के नहीं, ऐसे हो नहीं सकता। सो ये मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट, रेवेन्यू शुड बी मैच्ड विद दिस एक्सपेंसेस इन द सेम अकाउंटिंग पीरियड। क्या बोलना है यहाँ पर? ये जो रेवेन्यू आप लोग अर्न कर रहे हो इस साल, ये मैच होना चाहिए इस एक्सपेंसेस से इसी साल में, टाइम अकाउंटिंग पीरियड में, जो अकाउंटिंग ईयर होता है हमारा उसी में आप ये इसे मैच करना पड़ेगा। इससे इस अमाउंट को अगले साल में ले नहीं सकते। तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट इस तरह से है, मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट, मैच करना चाहिए रेवेन्यू को एक्सपेंसेस से, मैच करने चाहिए ये दोनों। उसके बाद जो आपको अमाउंट रहेगा वो रहेगा प्रॉफिट इस साल का। ये साल समझ लो 2019 है। सो दिस इज व्हाट मैचिंग, मैच करने चाहिए, ठीक है, इतना ही कॉन्सेप्ट है। फिर नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट कौन सा है? ओके, सो विल प्रोसीड विद द फुल डिस्क्लोजर कॉन्सेप्ट। अभी फुल डिस्क्लोजर का मतलब क्या होता है? फुल डिस्क्लोजर, डिस्क्लोजिंग फुल्ली, मतलब क्या है? आप जो बिजनेस रन कर रहे हो, मैं लिखूंगा यहां पर, डिस्क्लोजर, डिस्क्लोजर इट इज, disclosure. Okay, let's see what exactly it means. See, information provided by financial statements are used by different groups of people, such as investors, then lenders, suppliers. Investors, lenders, suppliers, and who it is? And others. Consider others. See, फुल डिस्क्लोजर कॉन्सेप्ट का मतलब क्या है? जो आपके फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस होते हैं वो पूरे डिस्क्लोज करने पड़ेंगे। अभी डिस्क्लोज करने लायक क्या होता है? जैसे कि आपने इस साल में कितना प्रॉफिट किया है और कितने एक्सपेंसेस हुए हैं, आपको कंपेयर करना पड़ेगा। लास्ट ईयर में कितना था, इस ईयर में कितना है, और वो जो है वो डेवलप हो रहा है कि कुछ लॉसेस में चल रहा है। इट इज अर्निंग प्रॉफिट और लॉस, ये ज्यादातर सभी लोग देखेंगे। कौन से लोग हैं? वो इंटरनल रहने दो या फिर एक्सटर्नल रहने दो, ये जो लोग हैं, इन्वेस्टर्स, लेंडर्स, जो आपको पैसे देते हैं, जो इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं या फिर सप्लाई करते हैं गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, इन लोगों को फुल फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स चाहिए। फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स डिस्क्लोज करना पड़ता है, डिस्क्लोज करना पड़ता, पूरे जो भी कुछ है वो सभी डिस्क्लोज इनको होते हैं। ये क्यों करते हैं? ये डिस्क्लोज क्यों करते हैं? इसका मेन इंटेंशन है फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस। Why we disclose this all information financial statements to these people? To take financial decisions. अगर मैं लेंडर हूं, मतलब मैं पैसे दिया हूं, इन्वेस्ट किया हूं इस एबीसी फर्म में, ठीक है, किसी भी बिजनेस में मैंने इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है, तो मेरा क्या काम बनता है? मैं जो इन्वेस्ट किया हुआ अमाउंट सेफ है कि नहीं, मुझे कुछ प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है कि नहीं, वो सोचूंगा। अगर मुझे प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है तो मैं कंटिन्यू करूंगा या फिर ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट करने की सोचूंगा। तो ये क्या होता है? सोच के फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस लेना। मुझे उस फर्म में या फिर बिजनेस में जो मैंने इन्वेस्टमेंट किया हुआ है वो रखना चाहिए कि निकालना चाहिए, ये मैटर होता है, ठीक है। तो इस वजह से हम लोगों को फुल्ली इंफॉर्मेशन, फुल डिस्क्लोजर होना चाहिए। मतलब वॉट एवर द इंफॉर्मेशन इज देयर, इट शुड बी डिस्क्लोज टू दिस पीपल। इट मे बी द इंटरनल पीपल एज वेल एज द एक्सटर्नल पीपल। ये कोई भी लोग रहने दो, ज्यादातर इन लोगों को लगेगा। क्यों लगेगा? क्योंकि ये फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस लेने के लिए। ओके, सो ये हो गया यहां तक। तो अगला कॉन्सेप्ट जो होता है देखेंगे। नेक्स्ट वी आर हैविंग इज कंसिस्टेंसी कॉन्सेप्ट। सी, कंसिस्टेंसी, व्हाट साइज, consistency concept. Now consistency means what here? What we can call here consistency means, last we are having 2 to 3 minutes, I may get disconnected anytime. So I will try my best to complete this concept. See, the accounting information provided in the financial statements would be useful in drawing conclusions regarding the working of the enterprise on with when it allows comparison over a period of time as well as working other enterprises. मतलब ये कंसिस्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट मतलब क्या है पता है? हम लोगों को जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स मिलते हैं, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स जो हम लोगों के हाथ में मिल रहे हैं वो हम लोग कंपेयर करेंगे. क्या करेंगे? कंपेयर. किन से? जैसे हमारी एक बिजनेस फर्म है, जैसे हमारा बिजनेस फर्म है, सेम होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट, जैसे मैं प्रोड्यूस कर रहा हूं ये पेन में प्रोडक्शन कर रहा हूं, दूसरे कंपनी के भी रहेंगे ना. तो ये जो स्टेटमेंट्स है, कंपेयर करो दूसरे फर्म्स से. कौन से? दूसरे फर्म से आप दूसरे इंटरप्राइजेस से कंपेयर करोगे. उसके बाद आपके प्रीवियस ईयर और इस साल के कंपैरिजन रहेगा. प्रीवियस ईयर एंड करंट ईयर मतलब अभी का प्रेजेंट ईयर कंपैरिजन करोगे. तो ये क्यों कर रहे हो? कंसिस्टेंसी रखने के लिए. मतलब हमारा फर्म जो है प्रॉफिट्स बनाते रहे, लॉस नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर लॉस हो रहा है तो कहां पर लैग हो रहे हैं हम लोग, किस वजह से लॉस हो रहा है, ये सभी फाइंड आउट करेंगे. यहाँ पर इस कॉन्सेप्ट से हमें पता चलेगा कि हाँ कहां पर लॉस किया हुआ है, कैसे हो चुका है, ये रीजंस फाइंड आउट हो सकते हैं. अगर ये फुल्ली डिस्क्लोजर होगा, स्टेटमेंट सभी आपके हाथ में रहेंगे, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, तो आप कंसिस्टेंसी देखोगे. हमारे फर्म जो कि चल रहा है कंसिस्टेंटली इंक्रीज हो रहा है कि गिर रहा है, नीचे गिर रहा है. अगर आप लॉसेस इंकर कर रहे हो तो आप नीचे गिर गए हो, आपके फर्म में कुछ ना कुछ एक्सपेंसेस ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं. अगर आप प्रॉफिट कर रहे हो, कहीं ना कहीं आप लोग सुधर गए हो. तो इसके बाद हम लोग क्या डिसीजन ले, ये सभी आप लोग यहाँ पर डिसाइड करोगे. सी इवन फर्दर वी आर हैविंग दिस इज व्हाट कंपैरिजन कैसे होता है पता है? इंटर फर्म एंड इंटरप्रेट कंपैरिजन इज बीन required to make. This can possibly only when accounting policies and practices are followed by the enterprise in uniform and consistent over a period of time. Uniform मतलब क्या है? यूनिफॉर्म और कंसिस्टेंट. यहां पर कंसिस्टेंट क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं? यूनिफॉर्म मतलब एक करेक्ट प्रिंसिपल के अंडर आप फॉलो कर रहे हो, रूल्स रेगुलेशन सभी फॉलो कर रहे हो इसमें. और कंसिस्टेंसी मतलब क्या है? आपका फर्म जो स्टेटमेंट डिस्क्लोज कर रहे हो, आप प्रॉफिट में हो और जो मेंटेन किया हुआ है ट्रांजैक्शन से सही तरह से एक्सेप्टेबल है, कन्विंस करने लायक है, कन्वीनियंट है. ये अगर सभी हो तो ये क्या हो सकता है? कंसिस्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट. ये हम लोग देख सकते हो इसमें.